Trump tax policy. What to do to capitalize on low tax rates during his presidency. Get ready. In this episode, I'm going to outline at least 5 different things you should do to capitalize on the low tax rates that will be prevalent during his presidency. So I'm Doug Andrew. I've been a financial strategist and a retirement planning specialist now for more than 5 decades, helping thousands of Americans optimize their assets, minimize taxes, and empower their authentic wealth. Now, whenever I teach audiences, I need to remind them that whenever I'm talking, there's no hidden political agenda. But I always ask, would you prefer that I be honest or gentle? Okay. And they always say, well, be honest. So please be aware. It doesn't matter if you're Republican or Democrat. I'm going to explain the difference between the two philosophies when it relates to government and taxes. And you just need to understand this, whatever party you're with. I'm not trying to convince you one way or another, but you need to understand the difference and when you should capitalize, because it doesn't matter what political party you are or if your candidate won or lost, okay? So let's dive into this, and I need to just make sure we all understand a few basic things. I meet with thousands of people just prior to retiring, because at retirement planning is something totally different than maybe what you did for retirement. 91% of Americans have most of their money, I think, trapped because they've been duped into putting their money into IRAs and 401ks, being told, oh, defer paying tax until you retire because you'll likely be in a lower tax bracket. That has not been true or just axiomatic now for more than 30 years. In fact, most savers are not in lower tax brackets, okay? Why? Because if you have saved any type of a respectable retirement nest egg, most people, unbeknownst, are going down the highway of life with one foot on the gas pedal and the other foot on the brake pedal, and they don't even know they're doing it. The foot on the gas pedal is putting all this pre-tax money into 401ks or tax-deductible contributions to IRAs. That's the foot on the gas pedal. And then they've got the other foot on the brake pedal, killing all their tax deductions during their earning years. They pay off their mortgage. They don't have that deduction. The kids are gone later, and if they move back in as adults, you can't deduct them anymore. If they were a business owner and they sold their business, you don't have those deductions anymore. In retirement, you're not contributing money to IRAs or 401ks anymore, so you don't have those deductions. And because of irresponsible government spending and the printing of money, taxes keep going up. So you're not saving tax, okay? So first of all, is postponing tax a good idea? When people come to me at retirement, I usually tell them to bring their after-tax IRA and 401k statements. They go, after tax? I know they don't have them. So I say, I'm going to have to calculate, because they come and they say, look at this $1 million I saved in this IRA or 401k. And I go, well, you're looking at it like this Subway hoagie sandwich here depicted on the left. That's not all your money. Only about 700,000 of that is your money. If you started pulling out whatever you think you're earning, 7.5%, you pull out 75 grand a year. That's not all your money. Only about 50,000 of that is your money. The rest belongs to the government in taxes. This is what it looks like after Uncle Sam takes a big chunk or several bites out of that retirement nest egg. And so I usually say, were you planning your retirement or Uncle Sam's? Uncle Sam is not a good partner. I mean, would you go into business with a partner if the partner said, okay, here's the deal. I get 1/3 or more of whatever this business produces, but you're going to do all the work. You're going to work hard. And if you try to sell before age 59 and a half, I'm going to penalize you 10% on top of my share. I get to reserve the right to raise my share whenever I want if I feel more hard up than you do, raising taxes, in other words. But I will require that you start giving me my share by the time you're 72 or 73. These are called RMDs, required minimum distributions, or I will penalize you 50% on top of my share. Would you go into business with that kind of a partner? I wouldn't. I just described an IRA or 401k to you, okay? Not a good partner. Now, usually most Americans will agree with these two things being absolutely certain. That money will never be worth more than it is today, okay, because of inflation. And number two, your current tax bracket is likely the lowest bracket you'll ever be in. So once they agree with that, I say, then why are you continuing to defer, postpone, procrastinate paying tax on your IRAs or 401ks and let it grow to this big nest egg to some future perceived unknown advantage and withdraw your money later when you agree the taxes will likely be higher? Why defer till they're higher? And they go, oh, golly, I better rethink my thinking. Yeah. Now, so that you understand the basic difference between Democrat and Republican tax policy, I'm going to super simplify it here. The Democrat philosophy is basically, let's have more and more and more government do things for us. And in order to pay for that, to raise tax revenue to pay for that, we simply raise taxes. More and more of the people who have the money need to pay more of their fair share. You've heard that, okay? Now, I'm not saying that's right or wrong, but the Republican philosophy is the opposite. No, let the private sector have more ownership. Let's have less regulations, and let's have less government. And any tax revenue we need for safety and schools and military, let's raise the revenue. Let's stimulate the economy. Let's raise the revenue by lowering taxes. Lower taxes, that raises the revenue that's being taxed, and we end up with as much or more tax revenue by raising the revenue that's being taxed, okay? And this has been proven over and over again. But you can look at, for the last 50 years, you can look at any tax laws that are passed, and you can tell who was primarily in power, the Democrats or the Republicans. Once you understand this, okay? Now, once you understand that, who won the 2024 election? As of the recording of this episode, Trump. And so whether you're Republican or Democrat, don't sit there and mope around if he wasn't your candidate. You need to seize opportunities here. So here's 5 opportunities that I think you ought to seize. Because of low tax rates for his presidency, I would recommend you do an IRA or 401k strategic rollout. That's not a rollover. A rollover is going from the frying pan to the fire. That's taking money out of a 401k, rolling it over to an IRA. You're continuing to postpone, defer. That's not saving you tax. You need to roll the money out. Get the taxes over and done with at today's lower rates. There is room in certain tax thresholds that you can pay 22% or 24%. It will never be that low again. I think it's going to be 28, 30, 32% after he goes out of office. Get the taxes over and done with sooner than later and reposition it into something that's going to be tax-free from now on. You don't have to take money out of an IRA or 401k and spend it. Just get it out and pay the tax and then put the net into my favorite vehicle, a tax-free L.A.S.E.R fund. Okay. And I'll show you how you can learn about what that is. Here at the end, I'll gift you a free copy of my 300-page book. Seize that opportunity. You're going to kick yourself. Next is to capitalize on market growth. The stock market went right up right after the day after the election. Why? Because they know he's going to stimulate the economy. Okay. And so capitalize on that because there's going to be a lot of stock market growth during his presidency. The economy is going to boom. Number 3, stay liquid. You want to make sure you have liquid money to seize opportunities. Don't keep your money tied up. Keep it liquid and safe to seize opportunities. They will come. You won't even see some of the opportunities until the last minute. Number 4, corporate taxes are going to stay low. See, Kamala Harris was going to raise corporate rates from 21 to 28%. And that's not just 7% more, that's 33% more. If a corporation pays $280,000 instead of $210,000 on every $1 million of profit, that's 33% more money. And corporations were going to lay off people. Instead, now they're going to hire people. Okay, they were going to change to automation. And so now we have corporate taxes that will stay low. And when corporations have lower taxes, and Trump's even talking about lowering it down to 15%, watch the economy boom, and you can take advantage of that growth. And the last is we're going to have low capital gain rates. Now, the Trump 2017 tax cuts, which took the 28% bracket down to 24 and the 25 down to 22, they were going to expire at the end of 2025. Now they're probably going to go 4 years. But capital gain taxes, Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, they were going to raise capital gain rates from 20% up to 39.6%. They're going to double them. They were also going to do away with the step-up in basis on long-term capital gains. So all those 1031 exchanges would have been for naught. They were even going to tax unrealized capital gains, which I just go, really? They were going to tax every year on the appreciation of your real estate, your stocks, your house, even if you didn't realize the gain by selling it. Well, how are you going to afford paying tax on an unrealized gain because you didn't even sell it and realize it? And what if your house goes back down in value? I guarantee you they weren't going to refund you what they charged you. But now that's not going to happen during the next 4 years if Trump stays in. So you can sell your properties at probably the lowest capital gain tax rate, get it over with. And people are flabbergasted. They pay 20% tax. They take the remaining 80% and put it into an IUL fund, and it generates as much or more cash flow income tax-free than their rental properties were generating, and they don't have to be a landlord anymore, taking out the trash, fixing toilets, evicting tenants. It's amazing, okay? There are several other opportunities, and I will keep you posted on this YouTube channel, but these 5, right off the top, they're no-brainers. So I don't care what political affiliation you are. Take advantage of these. And most people who get it will take advantage of these, no matter what their political affiliation or our philosophy is. So if you want to learn more about what an IUL fund is and why it's tax-free, claim a copy of my book. Now, this book has been flying off of our warehouse shelves. It retails on Amazon for anywhere from $20 up to $60. And if you buy it on Amazon, I want to thank you. But I'll gift you a copy for free. You simply go to laserfund.com or click on the link below. You contribute a nominal amount towards the shipping and handling. I'll cover the rest of that, and I'll pay for the book, okay? Now, while you're in there claiming your free copy, if you like to listen and learn or watch and learn, there's those formats available for your investment. But this is a very powerful book comprised actually of 2 books. This side is all the charts and graphs and explanations for the left brain learner, about 200 pages. If you learn more by stories, you just flip it over to this one. This is 12 chapters with 62 actual client stories. The right brain. If you want to use your whole brain, read the left and right brain, and you're going to be blown away with opportunities you never knew existed before. When you're in there claiming that free copy, you can also register for a free educational webinar that we do every single week. You can even schedule an appointment to talk to an IUL specialist to see how these strategies may apply in your particular set of circumstances, because it's critical it's done right. There's no cost, there's no obligation. This is not about me, this is about you, and I don't want you to miss the opportunity, especially the opportunities for the next 4 years as of the recording of this YouTube episode.